JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 16th of November 2020, so welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to pick up here is the German DAX. To be honest, not much has changed, or should I say, not much has changed in terms of the outlook, the analysis that I provided this morning. Basically, this morning I was saying that in order to aim for some higher levels, we need to see a push above the last week's high first, which is roughly around the 13,300 mark, so approximately around, and we need to see a nice good pop above that level in order to aim for the slightly higher levels, like for example the 13,460 territory here, marked by the highest point of September, or the 13,795 level marked by the highest point of February. So we're very close to breaking this area. However, for now we cannot really talk about, or should I say, we can talk about, but we cannot get a little bit comfortable with this upside move here. We need that confirmation break, because what we don't want to see here is for example a false breakout, because that I would prefer to see a nice daily candle staying above this area, because if we get a false breakout and the daily candle remains still below this area, then maybe this index is ready for a bit of a correction to the downside. However, for now that's not the case. Everything's kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, so on Friday we've closed below this 29,568 territory, but if we look at the cash index right now and where it's currently trading at, we'll see that the index is actually above already, or actually no, it's very close to that psychological 30,000 level, and basically it's around here somewhere. Basically, it's it's currently trading near this level, near the highest point of last week, which is around the 29,934 territory. The index is actually slightly above it as well. So again, this was the all-time high. Most likely we'll have a new all-time high again today. So, well, let's see how this is going to play out. However, don't get me wrong, at some point we could see this one correcting lower, but for now everything's kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside still. If it somehow drops, if this index starts dropping back below the highest point of February here, near the 29,568 territory here, then yes, I will start looking at maybe some lower areas, but at the moment everything's kind of looking quite positive. Now they're jumping into the dollar index here. So it drifted lower, however it failed to move below the 92.47 territory, and basically, long story short, it's stuck here. So we're now still waiting for it to make a better move, and as I've mentioned to you guys this morning, that a drop below the 92.24 level is required in order to get a little bit more excited with the downside. And in terms of the upside, a push above the 93.21 zone right here could do the trick for more buyers. Now gold is at a very interesting spot. So today did decline heavily, but as you can see, it's now trying to recover the losses made. The only problem, still the same problem remains, that the price continues to trade below this 21-day EMA. Now, of course, we'll see how today how this commodity will trade during the US session, but for now, I'm going to take a bit of a neutral stand here and wait for this one to make a better move, because for me, I need to see a drop below the 1860 territory in order to aim for some lower levels, or I would need to see a push above the 1911 territory right here in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. WTI oil is pushing nicely back above this 41.46 level. This morning I've talked about this one, and basically now the commodity is traveling back above this 41.46, which kind of creates this nice bullish atmosphere. And in a way, if the price and if this daily candle today stays above this area again, then well, this kind of increases the chances for a possible further move north, where my next target is the 43.75 level marked by the highest point of August. So let's keep an eye on this one. And in terms of the downside, now previously this morning I talked about this level, the 39.34 level. Yes, that's still the more comfortable level for me, because a nice good drop, price drop below this area would also place the commodity below all of its EMAs, and maybe more sellers could see this as a good opportunity to step in. However, for now, we need to be very careful here. Yes, like I said, the downside is off the table for now, it seems like. But if, for example, if it suddenly starts dropping below this hurdle right here, this key support zone near the 40.12 zone, from where, as you can see, on Friday on Friday it stalled, and today it kind of rebounded from. So if we get a drop below this area, we could start already looking at some lower areas. But as I said, the more comfortable level for me could come here on a break of this 39.34 level. Now Ripple is finally showing some strength here. I mean, if last week it was Bitcoin and Ethereum who were kind of, or mainly actually Bitcoin, which was kind of popping higher, Ripple is the so-called laggard here, and is popping higher today and this week. So most importantly, it's moving above the 0.2760 territory. So in a way, for now, everything is kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside, of course, especially if the price remains, if the daily candle here remains above the 0.2760 zone. If it does, then my next target is the 0.3049 level marked by the highest point of September, and then we'll take it from there. But if by any chance the crypto starts moving back down here and drifts back below the 0.26 territory, now this is where it could become very interesting here for the sellers, as this could increase the chances for this crypto to move a little bit lower here. So that's why be very careful on that one. Now jumping into AUDUSD, and here we have a nice push higher today. So basically everything's kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside. However, don't rush into anything yet. So if you remember last week, I talked about this one, and basically we were stuck in this little range here between these two levels, the 0.7245 on the downside and the 0.7289 on the upside. And what I was saying, that if we get a daily candle remaining below the 0.7245 zone, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a move lower. But this is where the one of those scenarios where you have to admit that it didn't really work out as planned. So, well, back to the drawing board. For now, basically, you can see that it drifted lower. It was trading here below this area, but then on Friday, it still climbed back inside this little range here. In other words, if you look at the weekly candle, you'll see that the weekly candle remained in this little area here, and today, and that's why kind of it ignored this. It ignored this daily candle kind of here, and we have to ignore this daily candle. So in a way, again, for now, it's a bit of a tricky one here. I mean, yes, at the moment, some might of you say that this is could be a possible bullish flag here. However, Let's not rush into anything yet. Yes, we are trading above the 0.7289 level. However, can this candle, daily candle, remain above this area? Well, let's see about that, because at the moment it's a little bit of a tricky one. So if it does stay above it, then my next target is the 0.7345 area, and then I'll take it from there. USDCHF. So this one is the one to watch, because as you can see here, we are still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 28th of September. The pair did drift lower today, but failed to kind of reach this 0.9093 level. And I talked about this area. This area was seen previously as a good area of resistance, then support, and it kind of did the same thing again. It acted as a good support level, support area even, I would say. And the pair, yep, climbed back up. It's currently trading above the 21-day EMA, but still below this downside line. So I'll still stick to the same idea that I mentioned before, that if you want to aim for some higher levels, well, wait for a break of this downside line and then a push above the 0.9197 territory right here in order to get a little bit more excited with the upside. But until then, yep, I'm gonna take a bit of a neutral stand here, and I'm gonna continue observing these two levels. So the 0.9197 on the upside here, and the 0.9093 on the downside. I need to see a clear breakthrough one of those in order to consider the next short-term directional move. GBPZD, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while. Basically, here it continues to trade below this downside line taken from the high of the 22nd of October. At the same time as today, it's kind of in the red, but still above this 1.9060 level. Now, previously I talked about this one. That's the lowest point of September, and in a way, if you want to aim for some lower areas, then, well, wait for a drop below this level, and ideally a daily close below it, because let's be on the safe side, guys. I mean, let's not rush into anything here. Let's continue observing this one. This might present a good opportunity. That's why I've picked up on this pair right now, because it might present itself with a nice opportunity. However, we'll just have to wait, and you can just basically put this one on the radar once it kind of starts getting out of this, either through the downside line here or through this 1.9060 level. Now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting. Euro against the Turkish lira. Basically, it found good support near this psychological 9 zone, and or maybe even a bit lower below that, but roughly around there. Basically, it kind of hit that area. Now, last time, if you remember, last week I was talking about this one, and I was saying that if this gets broken, then yep, we'll slowly start looking at some lower areas, but eventually the target could be the psychological 9 zone. And well, look at this beautiful move here. Basically, it had a nice hold up here. Now the big question here, will we see a bit of a correction here to the upside or not? At the moment, I'm kind of I would like to see something like that, but of course, don't get me wrong, the market doesn't always do what I like it to do. But yep, for now, I'm gonna keep an eye on this idea, especially if the rate climbs back above this 9.2050 territory right here, marked near the low of the 22nd of October. If it does climb above it, then my next target is the 21-day EMA, or even this 9.4690 level, which, as you can see, on the 9th and the 10th of November acted as a very nice area of support until it got broken on the 11th of November. So I'll keep an eye on that one. But like I said, if it climbs above this 9.2050 territory, then I'll aim for slightly higher levels, but we'll be very careful near the 21-day EMA. If the pair travels above the 9.6880 territory, somewhere around here, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for the buyers again. And finally, EURUSD. So here, the choppiness today, I mean, it's a little bit on the wild side, to be honest, without any clear direction. Of course, if you're trading and if you're looking at a 15-minute chart or something like that, then well, you'll see a bit of a annoying moves here, up and down, up and down. Basically, that's why I like to look at these daily charts. And if we do get a pop above the 1.1880 territory right here, then yes, I'll aim for some higher levels. Because don't forget that at the moment the pair is in a slight range here, in a short-term range. Yep, if we do see this one reversing back down and dropping somewhere, and now this is where I need to probably adjust a few levels. Now previously I talked about this level here, the 1.1787, but given the way everything kind of shaped up, probably I'll look at this little area here first, this 1.1795 territory. And if we do get a nice kind of daily candle staying below the 21-day EMA, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for more sellers, and we could maybe start aiming for the lower bound of this range. But at the moment, it's a bit of a neutral game here, so let's keep an eye on some of these levels, and yep, let's see how this is going to play out. But that's why for now, probably guys, be a little bit more on the safe side and careful side, and probably don't try to kind of risk it too much here, because again, in the short run there is no clear direction. So let's wait at least for some sort of a better signal on euro dollar. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. So if you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso, that's 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.